Hello everyone, I'm here to show you a comparison of the Xbox 360 and the Xbox 360S. Now, the biggest thing you're going to notice is that the 360S is not only black, but it's piano black. It's a shiny black, and it's a little smaller. The width of it is about an inch less on the 360S, give or take. So, there are some things to notice the differences. You got your vent on top, that big ass vent on the new 360S. The weight of it is lighter on the 360S. Not half, maybe a quarter of the weight less. I'd probably guess. I don't really know the exact weight of the systems, but just by holding them, it is lighter on the 360S. Now, the biggest thing you're going to notice is that when I get to it, as you can see, you got the piano black, but the touch, the buttons now are touch sensitive pads. On the old one, there were physical buttons. This one is more remnants of the PS3 FAT. So the power button and the eject button are all touch sensitive. Yeah, you can see the dust right there. Unfortunately, the new 360S is a dust magnet. So if you don't like that, well, you're not gonna like this one too much. Now, feature-wise in the front, it's all pretty much the same. The buttons are the same. You got your round thing. It can't do a red ring of death now because there's no red LED lights on them. But you do get the infrared port on the new one, as well as your sync button. And you do get the same two USB ports in the front. Obviously, it has Chrome on it. Now, the thing they did take out are the two memory card ports. As you can see on the old one, you got the two memory card slots. The new 360S doesn't have that anymore. They actually want you to start using USB thumb drives. You can buy officially licensed Xbox 360 thumb drives, or you can just use a generic one. You just have to reformat it. Another thing they took off from the 360S was the ability for faceplates. The old 360s, you can change faceplates. You can take the faceplate off and put a different one with different designs, different colors. Unfortunately, I don't think too many people used it because I've always seen not only a crap load of them in the stores, but I never really seen anyone actually change the plates on them. So that's probably a good thing they took it off. So obviously the new 360S has that big ass vent on the top there, as you can see. And that's where that one fan is on top of the CPU and GPU. Unlike the old one, where you had two fans in the back. Now, unfortunately, the way the old one was, is that it had to pull the air from the front towards the back. And the new one is just directly on top, which, obviously, you got vents, clear vents, on both sides now. So you don't have the hard drive covering the left side of the system now with the vents. So they did improve on keeping the system cooler, or at least heat management at least. Now the old 360 had the ability to swap hard drives on the fly like this. You just push the button, pull it out, and that's it. And you can take it to a friend's house, slap it on, and it's like using your own 360 at home. Nice feature. The new one is a little different. It's more internal this time. So as we check out the hard drive on the new 360S, you're going to see a little impression on the side of it, or on the bottom of the 360. You pull that out, you open the door comes off, and there is the 250 gigabyte hard drive. You got a little pull tab that you just pull out, and what do you know? There's the hard drive, in its own proprietary case. Yep, you have to use their own branded hard drives now, just like on the old one. Now, unfortunately, you can't take that hard drive and use it on the old 360 because there's nowhere to plug it in. There might be an adapter or a dock for it, but I don't know who's going to buy that when you can just use a thumb drive that goes up to 16 gigabytes. So, unlike on the old one where you can just take the hard drive and swap it out, my guess is that you could probably take the old hard drive and just use the transfer cable on the new one. I don't know, but as you can see there, the pull tab is made out of cloth and it does move. There is some give on it. Unfortunately, who knows how strong that is? If it breaks and that hard drive's still inside the system, you might be screwed of how you're trying to get that out, because it does take a pretty good amount of force to pull that out. But it seems like they don't really want you to mess around with that too much. So it might be sufficient, but in the long run, who knows? Obviously, there's the bottom of the 360 if you guys want to look at it, and there's the old one. So, not too exciting there. The more exciting thing is on the back of the system, because that's the biggest change this time. As you can see, the new 360S has a lot more ports, and there's no vent in the back, unlike on the old one, where most of the back is where the two fans are, just taking the Wi-Fi adapter off. And by the way, the new 360S does have built-in Wi-Fi. Thank God, after 5 years on the market, they finally decided to stick built-in Wi-Fi. So no more $100 adapter for you, because it's already in the system. So obviously, as you can see, the back of it is a little different. More ports. More ports is always good. It's better to have more ports than what you need, because at least you don't have to use, say like a USB, can't remember the name, a USB hub, that's it. Now obviously, on the old one there, you got your AV power plug, HDMI, one USB port, and an Ethernet port. And if we go over to the new one, you're going to see that the power plug is different, because it does use a different power plug. The power brick is about the same size as the Nintendo Wii power brick, so not too bad this time. Obviously, as you can see, as I'm going to point out in a few seconds, you get an optical out, unlike the old one where you had to use a dongle on the AV port to use the optical out. So the new one, they just stick it there. Obviously, you still get your AV port, HDMI, 3 USB ports in the back. Holy God, that's a lot of ports now. You also got your Kinect port for your Kinect camera, and an Ethernet port. So you can use the Kinect on the old 360, you just have to use it on the USB port and a power port, and you have to use a power brick for it. But on the new one, it's just one plug and that's it. So that's always good, less plugs. So at least this one is more future-proof than the old 360. So that's really pretty much it. I was demonstrating the vent on the top, but that's really the gist of the two 360s. Is it really worth upgrading? I don't know. That's your call. But it is a nice upgrade, and hopefully it won't crap out as many as the old one does. So that's pretty much it. And like always, have a good one.